Hello, hello. I'm Sandy, independent Stampin' Up demonstrator here in Canada, and I'm so glad you've joined me. This is probably my favorite day of the week because I get to do a video and show you pretty things, and then things that I haven't used before, hopefully. But you know, sometimes there's some repeats, you never know. Anyway, so I have my occasions catalog. You know which one this is. I call it the skinny catalog. Open because we're going to use in the cards today sentiment from the Well Said stamp set, as well as the dies, some of the dies from the Well Said or Well Written framelits. Now I don't happen to have the dies yet. I've just ordered them, and so I hope you can see them. Let's just see if what I can see on my computer. Okay. You get a lot of words here. So 24 dies. Happy, you, thanks, baby, hooray, love, groom, friend, bride, welcome, miss, birthday, wishes, and sympathy. Plus you get some greenery, really cute little birdie. I'll show you what he looks like actually. Isn't that cute? I saw that on a baby card. Well, a few of them actually on a baby card. It was really sweet. This little flourish, and a heart, some tiny little flowers, exclamation mark, which comes in handy. Anyway, normally I would show you the dies in person, but since I don't have one, we had to go that route today. And so here's the Well Said stamp set. There's so many of them. 51 stamps in total. It took 2 cases to put that in. And the other fun thing we're going to use today is, it goes this way, is the Country Floral Dynamic Impressions Embossing folder. That is a mouthful. So how about we get started, because I want to show you what we have. All right, so first one's going to get a little messy, so we need some grid paper down. Alrighty, and I've gone ahead and embossed. So here's what it looks like in Blackberry Bliss, and it is like truly deep impressions. This is one of those impressions folders where you use your original plate to your big shot with no tabs. You take the folder and your paper, just kind of line it up there. Okay, then you put one of your clear plates on top and run it through the big shot. And I always run it back towards myself as well. And you can see how thick that is. And that's why we get such a deep impression. Alrighty, but what we're going to do is make the card look like this. Now this burnishing, this is not my idea. I'm all for giving the person credit who thought up this idea. And it's Mary Fish. She's a demonstrator from the US. And I'll show you how that was done. Very simple. Sponge dauber, which is in the annual catalog, and Blackberry Bliss ink, and open. Okay, so what I'm going to do is take my dauber, go into the ink, and then simply rub this on the parts of the card that are raised, and it gives it this really kind of cool, almost an antique kind of look, which I really like. I mean, plain is beautiful too, but you know, demonstrators are always thinking of new and cool things to do. So I just thought that was so pretty. Now my card isn't identical, but it's pretty close to Mary's. I believe I used a different sentiment, probably different measurements. I did not look at the measurements on her blog. So I'm going to flip that around. Sometimes it helps with these lights facing this direction to have a view from this side of the card as well. Not only that, to try and not get myself completely inked up before the second card. It happens. So you see how quickly that takes place? You can always add a little bit more later if you find that there's a spot that you're not happy with. Alrighty, now avoiding inking myself, hopefully. It's just one of those things, you know. I think I'm going to make a little adjustment with one of my lights. Okay. And then I'm going to, I don't think I need that. So I'm going to attach that directly onto a crumb cake. I'm just feeling for the edges. There we go, that side. So a crumb cake base. Now, because this is raised, I'm going to use more glue than I would normally. And squeeze harder, Sandy. Oh, that might help. There we go. It's just a little bit of dried glue in the top of the ink. Once it gets going, and I've had it beside my computer, and I think I say that every video, I had it beside my computer. So we have a second card coming up as well. And that was my little teaser card that I put on various social media outlets. But not the actual card, because it's the only one. I don't have a sample. And anyway, let's just place that down. It's quite funny. The only part where I don't talk is where I'm actually adhering. Just making sure everything's nice and even. There we go. And then give that a little bit more, because I'm not really pressing down hard here because I don't want to squash down any of the raised bits. Okay, base of the card is also crumb cake. And then something I don't often use, and I should because it goes really well. If you don't want here's a white piece. If you don't want like a stark white, then go with very vanilla. You won't be disappointed. By your choice. So this doesn't require quite as much glue because it's a flat piece of paper. There we go. Take that time, that little bit of wiggle time, and make sure everything's nice and flat. How easy is that? See, this comes together very quickly. Very, very quickly. Okay. Now I'm also going to adhere this down. And then we get to the sentiment layer. Oh, and don't let me forget, I have my giveaway, the draw winner to announce. So we'll do that as well. There we go. And wiggle time again. Making sure that's straight. There we go. Okay, now I have to admit to you that I die cut this at my upline's house on Sunday, and I brought home all the pieces. But this morning I dropped the little dot for the eye, so this card's going to be missing a little bit. You know, that happens. That happens. So let me know what you're thinking. I'm just going to do some gluing. Oh, I should tell you this. As you can see, is die cut. And I think you could see these little lines. Those are the rectangle stitched framelets, and those are new. So let me just show those to you. They're in the package here. I shall open it. So I used the smallest one for that. I love the rectangles, and I love the fact that they have the stitching on them, because it gives it a nice effect. Really nice effect. And now this piece, I had to go to another set, which is right here, the needlepoint elements. Now, I haven't used this as much as I think I should, so I'll have to get back to it and make some pretty cards. But I used this long piece right here for the crumb cake. But as you can see, there's lots of really pretty elements in it. So yeah, needlepoint elements, and that again, that's from the Occasions catalog. So you still have time to get that. Don't you worry. All right. A little bit of glue here, a little bit of glue there. I always take it off the side of the desk so I can get that. I'd say I'm looking forward to warm weather. I'm just looking forward to, well, actually I'm really happy that I can see out my kitchen window. We had such a storm that the entire screen, the whole thing, I opened up the blind, go, hey, good morning. Whoa, can't see anything. It was completely white out. And I'm pretty sure if you're in Canada, or probably the northern states as well, You probably experienced that as well. And not the most fun thing ever, you know. Alrighty, so 4 little words like this. Now I know quite often I would use the adhesive sheets, but I wasn't at my own house, so I didn't. And this, well, clearly says friend. So I am just dotting on ever so lightly. I'm just waiting for it to go plop, because you don't want to squeeze too hard. So tell me what you think. Are you liking the card so far? Now, if you're watching after the fact, you know, feel free to comment as well. I do reply to all comments. And, of course, if you'd be ever so kind as to share the video, that would be lovely. Hopefully I don't have the same problem as last week, which was Facebook kept failing on me during the video, and as it turns out, it didn't save. So I had nothing to put onto YouTube, so I do apologize for anyone on YouTube looking for last week's video. It's not there. It is in nowhere, actually. I checked my phone afterward, and it simply would not load. It said that Facebook had closed, and that was that. All right, so I just put some dimensionals on the back. As you can see, there's a bunch of layers on the card, but the card itself is actually quite simple. There we go. And of course, once again, my hands are nice and cold. I think I'm gonna, I really like this particular rose, this big one right here, so I don't want to necessarily go above it. It's funny, I almost always go below, so apparently I'm sticking with my same trend. Right about there. And then, and I will, for the photo, because I take pictures and I'll post them, I will find the dot to that eye, you know. Okay, so I have these little metal, I'm not sure what they're called. I lost the packaging. Well, I had it, but, you know, misplaced it. So I'm going to call them metallic. I call them metallic pearls just for the heck of it. They're in the annual catalog. Alrighty, stay. There you go. Card number 1 is done. So now you can see how that dustiness, how you can see how that effect looks. So if I just turn this over, you can see how it would have looked had I not done the burnishing or whatever you want to call it. Okay, so that's card 1. All done. All done. Let's get to card 2 because it's so pretty. Well, what I started is anyway. So I've cut out some bits. I took this from the All My Love DSP in the Occasions catalog. The paper's really pretty. It looks like it's all Valentine's, but not so much, you know? Not so much. All right, so same thing, the Country Floral Dynamic Embossing folder. Oh, I left one word out. Dynamic Impressions Embossing. Embossing folder. Okay. And once again, the words, and yes, the dot, misplaced it temporarily. I will find it. And I don't know if you've seen this, but this is the polka dot tulle ribbon. And I just think it's so pretty and just a nice little accent for the card. So I'm going to use my glue dots. You know they hide inside here. Well, they don't hide. I have this thing about giving inanimate objects personalities that I don't necessarily like it. But I do it anyway, you know, because I can. Because I can. Yeah, I saw a little bit of fuzz there that I didn't like. I'm putting this on upside down, I believe. Yeah, we want the dots raised. Hello. You can't really see the difference, but I can feel the difference, and that's what matters, right? That's what matters. I think the glue dot is, yep, still there. Okay, so there's a couple ways of doing the glue dots. You can do that same thing, press, or you can just take your fingernails and do it that way. So I do it both ways. Depends on, I have no idea what it depends on, actually. It just depends. All right, so with this, I have, well, clearly it's die cut, and I have used the, oh, gracious, the Stitched Shapes framelit. So it has circles, ovals, and squares. And I think this is the second largest. And I put the little, yeah, there we go. The, don't you hate when you forget a word and you know exactly what it is? Your dimensionals are right there. Okay, so I will find the eye again, just like the other one. And as you can see, I'm keeping it very simple. I really like simple cards, but you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put it onto the base of the card right away, because I get too much going there, and then it's a little harder to add to the card. So again, a little more generous with the glue because of the raised bits, because there's nothing to stick there. So we want everything else to stick nicely, especially the edges, you know? I don't like when those show. Not too much. Not too much. Alrighty. Say, I have a newsletter coming out, by the way. Probably on Friday. That, I believe, is March 1st. Can you believe it? 2 months of the year almost gone already. Just that much closer to spring. Alrighty. And if you want to be on that mailing list, just send me a message and I will add you. Okay. Aren't those pretty? I love that font. Love. Love, love, love. It's so pretty. You know what I should be using? Is my, I have tweezers from my, not for eyebrows, for paper quilling. I should be using that to hold, but I'll just do it this way. Now I know, I don't think this word, but the word birthday is going to stick off the edges a little bit, so I don't have to glue everything. Can you see those little dots of glue? Like, it's really not a lot, a little bit heavy right there, but yeah, you just use the nozzle, let's call it, and pick up some of that glue. It really doesn't take much to stick something small like this down. Okay. So, very delicately. Let's see, I think I'm going to go right there. Yep. Now, birthday. So as you can see, the B and the Y are pretty much not on the paper. So we're just going to ignore those, which gives me something to hang on to as well, which is kind of nice. Kind of nice. I'm going to have to talk to my neighbors during that gigantic windstorm with the snow and blowing. Somebody's window screen is in my yard. Well, it was in my yard. Now it's in my garage. So I have to find out who that belongs to. It's not from my house. And I heard something that particular night. There's no way I was going out to see what was crashing around outside. Could have been branches, could have been anything. I don't think I actually had any downed branches. Just a little bit of like twig parts. So, alrighty, there we go. It's gonna look very pretty when I find the dot. That's what happens. Hang on to your little pieces. I should have put them in little plastic jackets, actually. All right, so that's the front of the card, but we have to do the inside. So let's bring. I'm gonna bring my. Maybe I'll put something on that. It's not so pretty, is it? There we go. The little grid paper is from the Stamparatus, and I like this size. All right, so when I had cut the paper, I had a strip left, and we don't want to waste it. So I'm going to run that down the side of the card, just for some interest on the inside. I should probably do the sentiment first, in case I goof it up and have to flip it over, but it's too late now. I have glued. So there'll be no making mistakes. Actually, when we make mistakes, we just find ways to fix them, don't we? And I notice when I have something flat, I always use a flat edge. Now it seems to me to be just a tiny bit longer on the one end. So I'm going to snip that. Get my little scissors out. These are the little ones. The other ones are all packed away from my class last week. A little bit more. There we go. Alrighty, so the sentiment again is from the Well Said bundle, and we're using Flirty Flamingo because that is one of the colors in the DSP, which I thought was rather fitting. It's really pretty color. I just need to make sure it is light, and I need a re-inking to take place real soon. I want to make sure I do this the right direction as well. Now, you know, as I always say, always do a test. And what I like to do is line it up with the grid paper. Okay, so I know it's a little bit, I have to go that direction just a little bit. Oh, okay. So, if it's not straight, like I said, we have ways, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to get this. I am moving it closer to myself though, so I have a better view. Just commit to it. There we go. Beautiful. And I have to show you this. I'm doing I'm at a scrapping event on Saturday, all day Saturday. It's huge. I have after this, I have almost 80 make and takes to prep. But while I was doing that, I was looking for something to add to one of the make and take cards, and this is the needle and thread set, also from the Occasions catalog. And sometimes these little stamps are forgotten. You have a little cross stitch because the needle and thread would indicate, of course, stamping of some sort, or stitching thread, needle point. And I saw these cute little butterflies, and I went, I absolutely have to stamp those. And then I decided, well, they're on the make and take, but I have to do them here too because they're just so darn cute. Ta-da! Oh, I think that's so pretty. Then again, it's my card, so I might be a little bit, you know, swayed that direction. Just looking around, hoping I can find the cards that are being from the draw. Good gracious. I hope they're handy. I put them in here. I photographed them in front of a big window in my living room. The best lighting, especially in the afternoon because I point west. Now, not too late though, because you don't want the yellow from the setting sun. Nice white light, nice bright white light. There we go. Pretty, yes? I like it. I think that's wasn't what I intended to do, but you know what? It's always funny that you don't always, oh, I didn't have it planned. So there's that card. Oh, I see the cards. I wanted to show you one other cool thing you can do with that same embossing folder. So, un momento. Okay, so we did this in the class. Well, I showed the ladies this in my class last Wednesday. So you can take your embossing folder and open it carefully. Like, don't like rip it open because you don't want to break it. And you can take your stamp pad, open up your stamp pad. I'm just going to pretend at this point, and just cover the whole area. Now what you want to do is hit the side, hit the side that's not raised. Okay. Yes, hit the side that's not raised. So it'd be, in this case, it's the one with the line. And cover the whole thing, put your paper in, run it through the Big Shot. And this is what it looks like when you do a tone on tone. So I believe this is, no, it's not Flirty Flamingo. I believe this is Blushing Bride. It is. And tone on tone. So I really like that. Oh, that just reminded me what I forgot to do. I will do that. Now I made the identical card, except I used Whisper White and ran it through. They almost to me look old-fashioned. You know what I mean? Just with that little bit of color here and there. Now here's what I forgot to do, and I am not forgetting. I'm going to make sure I do that. Which is, where are you hiding? Make sure I get the right one. Here we go. Wink of Stella. I want to make sure it's clear. So I was at a store. Oops! Don't do it that way. It's a pull, not a, if you undo it like I just did. You know, you take the whole thing apart. I just want to get some sparkle on the card. So it has this little, it says push. So you have a little ballast, which has got the lovely wink of Stella sparkliness. Just have to give it a little more push till there we go. And I'm just actually doing this on the roses. Oh, there's another one up there. The other one I've covered up, the center one, so we won't need to do that one. Because it's something you can't really see. If you notice, I'm turning the card towards my light so I can see what I'm doing. There, just a little sparkle. And in person you can see that so much better. But it lends itself to having just that little bit. Alrighty, so let's bring those back in. Okay, and again, embarrassed that I have misplaced the dot in the eye. Now, next week, next Tuesday, I will announce the winner of these cards. Now, how do you win these cards? You share my video. Now, last week's cards, which I'm just going to take, give me a moment while I look for them. It's not that one. It's not that one. I had them out here. So, there they are. Oh my goodness. Okay, so these will be drawn. Oh, I can say next month. Next month, which is next Tuesday, I will announce the winner of that. So how do you get your name into the draw to win the cards that I make during my videos? You simply share my video with your friends. You can share it after the fact. So if you're not watching live, watch it after the fact. And share then. So share now, share then. If you're on YouTube, you can share there as well, provided my video uploads, which I'm pretty sure it will. That will get you one ballot. If you happen to place an order this week, your name goes into the draw. And you have right up till next Monday to place an order to get a second ballot. Oh, no, my little doodad fell off. Get back on there. Oops. Oh, someone's going to have to, okay, I have to add a little bit of glue to that. Little dot of glue. Okay, so these are last week's cards. Okay, drum roll, because I've already done the draw. The winner is Darlene. So congratulations, Darlene. I believe you've won cards before. And I know you've won cards before. There they are. And, oh, that one's plain on the inside. I'll have to do a little inside bit for that card. But those are the cards that you've won. These are the cards for next week. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining me. Share, like I said. And I will see you next week. Have a wonderful, wonderful week, everybody. Bye-bye.